Okay. Thank you. Okay. My name is Rehema. I'm here with my colleagues, Senator Turkana County and Mheshimiwa Condemnation. I'm here to give a press conference on behalf of the people of Isiolo County, specifically Garamara Ward. And it is about an illegal state of emergency which was declared by the government against the citizens of Garamara Ward. I will read the statement. We strongly condemn the recent banditry attack against General Service Unit, that is GSU, and Anti-Stock Theft Unit at Muriri, Meru County that resulted in the injury of 10 officers. We pray for the quick recovery of our gallant officers and demand for immediate arrest of the perpetrators. However, the move by the government to commit atrocity in the pretext of security operation against the Turkana community in Isiolo County, well, no investigation have been done to ascertain the perpetrators of the attack, is not only uncalled for, but inhumane and unjustified. For the past few days, Daba area, that is in Garamara Ward, Isiolo County, have witnessed a full-blown paramilitary operation that has witnessed torturing of innocent citizens and destruction of properties, among other atrocities. We hereby demand a thorough and impartial investigation into the matter. Until then, the government must, with immediate effects, cease the unjustified paramilitary operation against the Turkana community of Isiolo County. Well, the area has witnessed skirmishes ranging from cattle rustling, conflict over pasture and water, and boundary dispute for a long period of time, and is inhabited by various diverse ethnic communities. The victimization of the Turkana community for the second time, because it so happened also in the year 2018 against the Turkana community, without any investigation, is indeed unwarranted. Well, the government has never taken any initiative to resolve any of the underlying issues that has resulted in the continued conflicts in the region, more so Isiolo County, and specifically Isiolo South constituencies. We have never witnessed an operation of this magnitude, raising suspicion of other sinister activities against the Turkana community and Isiolo people in general. We further condemn the government security agency for its continued laxity. It beats logic how hundreds of militia can crisscross the country and commit crimes and murder without the knowledge of security apparatus. In the last 6 months alone, over 20 people have lost their lives to banditry attack. But our plea for peace continues to fail on deaf ears, and we demand justice for our departed brothers and sisters. The infiltration of small arms in the county and has resulted in deaths and losses of property has continued to strive despite the existence of security apparatus. The manipulation of security apparatus by politicians, and I saw one who was really bragging yesterday, being a deep state and being behind the operation aimed at cajoling and conducting impassioned disarmament exercise, must come to an immediate end. Lastly, I appeal to humanitarian agencies to move in and aid the Turkana community, especially in Daba area, who have become internally displaced due to the ongoing security operation. Just so that I can let my colleagues add, it beats the logics, and it is discrimination of the highest order. When the government, and I saw, and I will give you those reported incidents on 13, that the government purports to have the presence of 300 militia within Isiolo County. And they go further to allege that it is the Turkana bandits. The question I want to pose, and I have posed to the Ministry of Interior, is how did they come to the conclusion that it is the Turkana community? Whereas in that area, we have 5 ethnic communities living there, including the Meru, the Somali, the Borana, and the Turkanas. Nobody was killed, nobody was arrested. So what evidence did they have that it was the Turkana community's bandits? Lastly, I want to ask another question. How does a government, with all its machinery, allow 300 militia to move freely in an area? That can only confirm then we are in a failed state. My humble appeal therefore is for the operation. I have never seen that level of operation. Watu wanapigwa na mandege. 5 jet fighters were in Isiolo County yesterday, shooting people from above. Wameweka huko ile inaitwa nini, kifaru, wakipiga watu na bomb. Women are being raped, and this is the second time. And yesterday, I will say, I had Mheshimiwa Maoka Maore saying that he is the one who has ordered for the operation. I want to tell him this country does not belong to few. It belongs to all of us, and we are Kenyans. I therefore, with immediate effect, demand for the removal of that excess military presence in Ngaramara Road. Thank you.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rehema kwa kutetea watu wako waliokupigia wewe kura, na tunaungana na wewe kwa sababu ya jambo hilo. Kama vile Mheshimiwa amesema, itawezekanaje watu 300 haramia wanapita miji zote za Isiolo mpaka Meru bila serikali ama bila security agency kugundua hawa? Jambo lingine ambalo pia tungependa kuuliza, kwanza ningependa kutoa pole kwa askari ambao walipigwa. Kuna mtu ambaye ametoa pole kwa wale Waturkana ambao wamepigwa juzi na jana, na wale wanawake ambao wamepigwa na wale ambao wameenda. Lakini kwa sababu ni kiongozi, ningependa kupeana pole kwa askari hao waliopata majeraha. Lakini zaidi hayo, jambo ambalo Mheshimiwa Rehema amesema, kuna makabila 5 katika Isiolo ambao wanaishi. Swali ambao amejiuliza kama kiongozi wa sehemu hiyo, inawezekanaje kuwa ni kabila moja tu ya Waturkana ndio ambalo limesemekana ndio imefanya vituko ambavyo vimefanyika? Jambo la pili, jeshi letu linaheshimika duniani kote. Jeshi letu linaheshimika. Inawezekanaje jeshi inaweza kwenda na kupambana na kabila ndogo na kutumia rasilimali ya Kenya ambayo itakana kutumika katika vita kubwa, inatumika kwa community ndogo ambayo hiyo? Kama serikali na kama nchi ya aibu, hatuwezi kwenda vita na kabila ndogo ndani ya nchi yetu. So jeshi letu limekosa heshima. Hiyo ni vita ya makabila ndogo ndogo ambao wenyewe wanaweza kupigana na kuletwa amani. Jambo lingine ambalo Mheshimiwa Rehema amesema, mambo ya maji. Sehemu ambayo Waturkana wanaishi hakuna maji, serikali haijawapatia maji. So wakati wanakuja upande wa Meru kutafuta maji, hata wakati ambapo hawajakuja kufanya ufahamishi yeyote, wanapigwa kwa sababu wanafikiria wamekuja kufahamia mali ya watu, na hali wamefukuzwa na janga la maji. Sasa kama serikali huwezi kupatia watu maji, watarandaranda, watafika Meru, watafika Laikipia, watafika Nairobi wakitafuta maji. So heri serikali ipeane maji kwa watu ili wakae mahali pamoja. Yale mambo yametendeka jana juzi, tumeambiwa na wale watu wako huko, ng'ombe 2,000 zimekufa. Sasa hiyo ni hasara mna gani? Ng'ombe 1000 kukufa kwa sababu wanapiga risasi wakiwa juu. Watu 5 mpaka leo hawajulikani mahali walipo. Sasa umemaliza economy, umemaliza uchumi ya watu. Ni kama umebomoa ghorofa moja ya 100 million Nairobi. Sasa hawa Waturkana wataenda wapi? Maisha yao wataishi namna gani? Kwa sababu hiyo mifugo ndio ilikuwa tegemeo lao. Kwa hivyo sisi kama viongozi tunasema kwamba serikali imechukua hatua ambayo sio lazima. na jeshi kisheria, kikatiba hawezi kufanya jambo lolote mpaka bunge liidhinishe ndio waende wafanye jambo kama hilo. Kwa hivyo wale ambao wameumia, mali ambayo imekufa na hesabu kwa serikali. Na mwisho mimi ningependa kukubaliana na Mheshimiwa Rehema. Jana mimi karibu tukosane na Mheshimiwa Maoke hapa kwa bunge, tukiwa tunakula chakula cha mchana. Anajiinua mbele ya watu akisema nimetengeneza hawa. Wameona mimi ni serikali. How can a leader of such kind of caliber can speak such kinds of words before the public? Mpaka sisi wale viongozi wengine wa Turkana tunasikia uchungu. Kumbe hii kitu ni mambo ambayo ni mtu fulani ndio ame-influence. Unaringa kwa bunge ukisema nimetengeneza hawa. Na wewe ni kiongozi. Unafurahia watu wanakufa. Unafurahia watu wakiumia. Unafurahia wanawake wakinajisiwa. Kwa hivyo hilo jambo ambalo Mheshimiwa Rehema amesema serikali itafute mbinu ya kuhakikisha kwamba kuna haki inatendeka. Tuna boda popote na wakati mambo inatendeka kama hiyo, serikali inatupatia majukumu sisi kuongea na popote. Tuna boda Marakwet, tuna boda Uganda, tuna boda Ethiopia. Tunaongeanga, hakuna vita ambavyo vimelazimika kupiga watu mahali pale. Why Isiolo? Juzi tumekuwa na mkutano wa amani sina Pokoti na ilikuwa mzuri. Wale wa Pokoti wakakemea watu wao, sisi tukakemea watu wao. Why should you send a military to go and beat and kill the people? Hiyo vita haitasimama kamwe, kwa sababu tutakuwa na retaliation tena. Hao watu wengine watakasirika na watapiga wale wengine. So afadhali kutafuta amani kwa njia ile mzuri. Asante.
Thank you, members of the press. It's Professor Malaki Imana, Senator wa Turkana. Like my colleagues have said, I want to say pole to our military officers that may have got hurt in the skirmish that led to the problem we have today. Such was a question of mistaken identity. Our people, the Turkana, respect their government, respect their military, respect their police, and anybody in uniform. But it turns out that sometimes other people who are not our police or military dress in those uniforms and then start firing at Turkana people. Turkana people by nature are supposed to respond. When you hit me, I hit you. So such a thing is what led to those officers being hurt. And we wish those officers quick recovery, and they should be able to understand that it was mistaken identity. We do not attack our forces, we do not attack our police. This focused operation, where out of the 5 groups of people that live in that region, this focused operation that is just focused on Turkana people is very discriminatory, is very balkanizing, is actually just picking on one group. Meaning that one group, whoever has organized this, does not like that particular group. This is Kenya. This is a country for all of us. This government is for all of us. The government cannot use its apparatus just to protect one group or pick on one group and beat them the way they are beating the Turkana. Government is our father, government is our mother, and should be fair to all of us. It should not just pick one group and use heavy machinery, use armored vehicles, use planes, things that are usually reserved for international wars. You know, we have illegal people, illegal militia living in Kenya from South Sudan, and the government is not doing anything about it. How is it that the government with abandon would release our planes and our armored vehicles to beat wananchi? These are civilians. These people do not have that heavy machinery, and the police can deal with them. So how is it that such brute force is used on only one group? This is what I'm calling discrimination of one group over the others. This is what I call balkanization, tribal balkanization, where one group is picked on and the others are just sitting there. Now, I want the government to know that when you do not respect your citizens, those citizens are going to turn rogue, because then they are going to say, this is not our government. We want a government that respects its citizens and treats everybody fairly. The 4,000 to 6,000 cattle that have been driven off illegally. Illegally, it's like what the colonials used to do. This is not a colonial government. This is the government of Kenya that we elected. How can they drive away 4,000 cattle from citizens without any crime? The Turkana did not raid, the Turkana did not steal, the Turkana did not do anything for which those cattle have been driven away. What is the justification? How do you explain that? This is based on false information by somebody that I've heard his name here, a so-called Maori or Maore. Such a person is supposed to be in parliament, such a person is supposed to be a Mheshimiwa. I want to strip that person of that title of Mheshimiwa, because he's not a Mheshimiwa, he's a liar who has created lies to dehumanize only one group out of the 5 groups of Kenya that are living there. So the 4,000 cattle should be returned to the Turkana people, because Turkana people depend on their cattle to live. If you take away 4,000 cattle, so many families have lost their livelihood. And this is going to come back and bite Kenya. Because when those people are going to be shown as poor, and they are hungry, and so on and so forth, that is going to reflect on Kenya. That these are the citizens of Kenya that are always poor, that are always hungry. But we created that poverty. We created that poverty by driving away this head of cattle. Tell me, where is our military taking this head of cattle? These do not belong to them. These do not belong to anybody except the owners. What is the justification of driving them away? So from here, we demand an immediate stoppage of the operation, and we demand that those cattle be taken back to the owners. If the operation is meant to disarm, cattle do not own guns. So taking cattle does not make sense. If you want the people who have guns, disarm all the communities, not only the Turkana. Disarm all the communities, go to the people that have committed those atrocities and deal with them. But release the cattle to the rightful owners. And by the way, raping people, beating people, dehumanizing Kenyans is a crime. It's an international crime. When there is a war, you do not do things like that. So I'm asking the government, the part of the government that is still alive, that is still fair, to investigate and arrest those officers and get them off the jobs, because they bring disgrace to our forces. Thank you very much.